Houston Public Works is responsible for the daily tasks you may take for granted. You may not notice us, but we work around the clock to support you. We are the foundation for life in Houston. Houston Water distributes enough fresh water to fill the Astrodome 4 times a day. Transportation and drainage operations handle 16,000 miles of streets. Over 1 million signs and street names and thousands of drains. The Houston Permitting Center regulates hundreds of projects so you can work, play, and live safely. Customer Account Services ensures 2.1 million people have access to safe drinking water with efficiency, accuracy, and flexibility. Capital Projects manages the critical improvements that make Houston better every single day. Houston is always moving towards growth, innovation, and progress. We are the largest, most diverse public works organization in the country. We are one team with one purpose. Together, we create a strong foundation for Houston to thrive.
My apologies. Having a little technical difficulty here. One moment. All right. All right, good evening, and thank you for participating in our live virtual community meeting today. My name is Kenya Williams with Houston Public Works. The goal of today's meeting is to keep you informed and know what to expect during construction of the 72-inch water line from Crawford to Mount Vernon project. Let's talk about this project, how to prepare for construction, and who to contact. Before we begin, I would kindly ask if you could hold all questions until the end of the presentation. Many of the answers you're looking for will be answered within the presentation, and so we'd like to respectfully ask for your full attention at this time. Later, we will open the questions and answers session at the end of the presentation. Here at Houston Public Works, we believe that together we create a strong foundation for Houston to thrive. There are 5 service lines at Houston Public Works. Today's meeting is presented by Capital Projects. Joining us today is Sharon Fletcher, who is with District C. And Sharon, are you on? We may have some technical difficulties right now with Sharon, so we're going to move on. We'll come back to Sharon. Okay. Also joining us is the Managing Engineer for Capital Projects, PK Karuva. He will introduce the project team responsible for this project to you. PK?
Good evening all. Thank you, Kenya Williams, for introducing me. I will go ahead and give us a brief introduction of the team members out here for this project. So Jaypal Musku will be the project manager representing City of Houston. Singarpal Sekon will be the supervising engineer representing City of Houston. And myself, PK, is the managing engineer for all of these surface water transmission projects representing City of Houston. The engineer of record for this project would be LAN. The engineers are Ephraim Hem and Manny Depot. The construction manager for this project is Mr. Troy Anthony. He represents Project Surveillance, including company. And the Harper Brothers Construction is the contractor, represented by Superintendent Mr. Corey Garrott.
Thank you, PK. Houston Public Works is committed to building forward and not building back the same way. The purpose of this project is to install a 72-inch water line from Crawford to Mount Vernon and includes improvements to the area's water lines, sanitary and storm systems, and new concrete pavements. The scope includes improvements in large diameter water line, pavement, sidewalks, drainage, small diameter wastewater and water utilities, traffic signals, street signs, street lights, and overall mobility and safety for the public. This $48.8 million water project is expected to take approximately 24 months. Work is scheduled to begin in summer of 2022 and anticipated to be completed in summer of 2024. The project schedule will depend on weather conditions. The contractor will work Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. However, extenuating circumstances may require limited work to take place on Sundays. The contractor is Harper Brothers Construction Incorporated, and the project manager is Jaypal Musku. According to these project numbers, this is a VIP, a very important project. There is a total of 5 phases to this project. Phase 1 in orange will start this summer of 2022 to winter of 2023. Right here. Phase 2 in green will also begin in summer of 2022 to spring of 2023. Phase 3 in red here will commence in spring of 2023 to summer of 2024. Phase 4 in yellow will start in spring of 2023 to fall of 2023. And the last phase, phase 5 in purple, begins in fall of 2023 and ends in spring of 2024. These phases are subject to change. To receive the very latest updates, make sure to to subscribe to the project page on engagehouston.org. What to anticipate during these construction phases? Our advice is to organize, don't agonize. So if you prepare for construction, the time it takes to complete the project will fly by. The first step to getting organized is keep your door hanger. These door hangers contain pertinent contact information in case you have further questions or concerns. If your dog ate your door hanger, no worries. You can go to the project page online to view the contact information there at engagehouston.org. If you have objects in the right-of-way, please remove them now, as soon as possible. If you have specific landscaping that you would like to be saved, we suggest that you relocate such plant materials now. Grass will be restored in areas upon completion of all construction. For most of the properties in the area, the City of Houston project right-of-way will extend about 2 feet from back of curb. However, sanitary sewer line replacement will leave some residents with open excavations in their yards at times. As a result of this and related capital improvement projects, the city and the contractor are granted full access into this right-of-way. Once complete, the contractor is required to restore the impacted area of the grounds to the City of Houston standards. So again, if you have objects in the right-of-way, please remove them as soon as possible. And meet the project team. This includes the contractor, the inspectors, and the project manager. Homeowners associations and local business owners are invited to attend the monthly contractor status meeting that will allow them to provide periodic updates to the community. Updates will also be posted to the project page on engagehouston.org, so remember to subscribe to receive the latest and greatest updates as they become available. The contractor has a restoration plan for all properties. Once the project is complete, the contractor is required to restore the impacted area to the city standards. Please do not make repairs yourself. Restoration typically starts once the project is complete. The city does not approve final payment to the contractor until they complete their own assessment to ensure restoration is sufficient. We recommend that you document current conditions by taking pictures of your property in the right-of-way area near the street and curb. The pictures should resolve any questions when it comes time for the contractor to repair or replace any items. Please be aware and obey all construction signs and barriers. Safety is priority number 1 for everyone involved in this project. For your safety and ours, please pay attention to the following safety objects shown here. Now, I have good news and I have some bad news. The bad news is because this is construction, there will be some minor inconveniences. The good news is that they are only temporary. This project includes replacement of small diameter water lines, and temporary service disruption may be experienced when the contractor is connecting the new water lines to the existing water system and when the water services are transferred to the new water lines. Similarly, the sanitary sewer replacement and rehabilitation is included in the scope of this project. Temporary wastewater service disruptions may be experienced when the contractor is reconnecting services to the new sewer lines. Contractor will give notice 72 hours in advance of water and sanitary sewer service disruptions. Trees to be removed are identified on the tree protection plan posted on the project page at engagehouston.org. Diseased or dying trees will be removed. The City of Houston has identified trees that can be preserved during the construction on a case-by-case basis. Both the city and the contractor are taking every precaution to protect existing trees and properties as best they can. Additional right-of-way markers may be placed along the curb and sidewalk driveway area, and removal of these causes added delays and expense. So please do not remove these markers or any protective precautions that may have been provided to the adjacent property. Driveways. Individual driveways may be impacted for several days during the construction process. Once construction begins on the street, the contractor will give 72 hours in advance notice to work on a specific driveway. Bus services will be coordinated with the contractor. Trash and other services will still be available during construction. The traffic control plans can be found on the project page at engagehouston.org. We encourage you to go to engagehouston.org to view more project details there. The project page includes additional exhibits, the traffic control plan, and the tree protection plan right at your fingertips. And now a brief demo on how to navigate your way on engagehouston.org.
Welcome to engagehouston.org. We're incredibly excited to share this platform with you. This site allows us to communicate with Houstonians about the changes that are happening in their neighborhood. Our goal was to make it visually fun and engaging, as well as simple to navigate so that anyone would be able to find what they need. Thanks to Google Translate, users can translate the language used on the website, which makes for even more user-friendliness. On the home screen, you can navigate the 4 project types that we support: drainage, street, wastewater, and water projects. Beneath that, you're going to see a variety of resources. This is where you can go if you want to watch us in action, view various Houston Public Works initiatives, and so much more. All of these resources can also be found up here in our header. For all public meetings, we send out notifications to the community. And one way to access the meeting link is to click on this Join Us button pictured here. When you select the Join Us button, it's going to take you to our upcoming virtual community meeting schedule. As you can see, there are a few virtual meetings planned for this month that have already been scheduled on the calendar. Another great thing about this website is that we have enabled social media shares. Users can share meeting links, project pages, and updates to their social media feed through private messages and/or email, and this helps us in getting more information out to the community. Now, let's explore what a project page looks like. Using the navigation links at the top of the page, we can check out the active projects. If we click on drainage, that will take us to all of the active drainage projects. Let's dive into one. How about Garden Oaks and Shepherd Park West? This is our standard project page format. It is a snapshot of all of the relevant project information. On the project page, it shows a standard map, which highlights the project area, and general project information, which may be followed by a link below to the project's frequently asked questions. To the right, you're going to see a variety of tools, and first is the Stay Informed Subscribe button. This allows a user to subscribe to this project alone, meaning that this specific project is of great interest. All it requires is inputting your email address here, and you'll be notified via email when updates are posted to the page or new information becomes available. You'll see the current project phase as well as the project documents meeting recordings, videos, and pictures underneath that. And of course, every page is going to show you who's listening and who the public engagement team is. At the bottom of the page, there's the Engage Us tool, which allows you to correspond directly with us through this platform. In order to use this tool, you must be registered and signed into the site, and we'll be showing you that process shortly. Once you're signed in, you can ask questions, and they're sent directly to the public engagement team. And we research and provide a response to every single question that is asked. The cool thing about this site is that not only does the original poster receive an answer to their question, they'll also be notified via email once there's a response. We wanted to also note that some of the questions and answers will be posted publicly so that others can view the conversation. We say some because in order to respect privacy, we don't post a question and answer if someone uses any personal information, but they still will get an answer and be notified via email. Let's take a look at another project page. Another feature that is available is the Project Updates tool, which allows participants to get the latest information on the project. If they're subscribed, they'll be notified when an update is posted and can share that update to social media or via email. We are working on providing updates for each project so that we can continually keep the community informed and engaged. Last but not least, we encourage everyone to register for this site. Some of the tools we discussed earlier can only be accessed and utilized if you're registered. So it is extremely important to register for the site. We made it as simple, quick, and painless as we could. Here, let me show you. Just create a username and password, then enter your email, zip code, and identify which City of Houston Council District you live in. Of course, if you don't know, select that. Or if it doesn't apply, select none of the above. And then you need to proceed to agree to the terms of use and privacy policy as the next step. To complete the registration process, you'll receive a confirmation email, and once you confirm that it's you, you are good to go. Now, you're all set up to utilize the tools here on engagehouston.org. Welcome to engagehouston.org. Welcome to Engage Houston.
Hey. Okay. We encourage you to call 311 if you have a concern. You can report online, email, or yes, there's an app for that. It's not just for problems though. We always like to hear if our contractors are doing a good job, so please share that with us as well. Know the contractor. They are often your first point of contact. They are the boots on the ground every day. They are capable to assist you immediately. Remember that Harper Brothers Construction contact information will also be on your door hanger and on the last page of the frequently asked questions posted on engagehouston.org. We want you to hear from the contractors. So at this time, allow me to introduce you to Corey Garnett to say a few words about Harper Brothers Construction Incorporated. Corey?
Thank you, Kenya. Thank you for the presentation tonight. My name is Corey Garnett. I'm the Senior Project Manager for Harper Brothers. My team consists of John and Joe Harper. The project manager on site will be Mark Dutton, and general superintendent will be Richard Lively. Project superintendent on site will be Santiago Juarez. All of us are very familiar with City of Houston Public Works and their operations. We are the contractor that is currently building the water line throughout downtown and midtown that this project ties into. And we are very versed in this type of work, and we enjoy the opportunity to present this to you tonight and look forward to getting this project underway. Thank you.
Thank you, Corey. I want to thank District C for their support today. I want to thank PK and his awesome project team for their participation and support. Thank you to the fabulous public engagement team for making this meeting possible. And finally, to all of you who have joined us to receive this important project information. Thank you for your time and attention. Please remember to share what you heard today with your friends and neighbors who could not join us for this meeting. And now, it's Q&A time. Being present has its benefits. Why, you ask? Because you will get your questions answered in real time by the fantastic project team. Take advantage now and ask away. The project team is here to answer your questions. At this time, I would like to introduce you to Afalaki Cannon with the fabulous public engagement team who will moderate the Q&A session for us. Take it away, Afalaki.
Thank you, Kenya. So the first question I have that I received for the project team is to please explain encroachments. If an object on my property is encroaching, what are the expectations?
Encroachment is any kind of intrusion outside of the private lot area, like fencing, major landscaping, or any other driveways. Encroaching inside the right-of-way need to be removed or relocated before the construction begins. So the contractor will give you a 2-week notice once he finds that encroachment is hindering the construction progress. So any kind of fencing, major landscaping that is intruding inside the right-of-way, outside of the lot area, need to be relocated.
Okay, thank you, PK, for that. And a follow-up question to that. I know you kind of touched on this a little bit, but if Corey or anybody from the contractor, if one of you can let us know how much time in advance do you guys typically give residents or businesses if something is located within the right-of-way?
Usually it's a 2-week notice, as I said earlier. Okay. Because construction superintendent or inspector will go ahead and look at the construction activity happening in the next couple of weeks. And if he finds any kind of obstruction in the construction area, as I said, fencing or major landscaping, he will have that time frame, 2-week time frame, to give the notice in the form of door hangers to the private property owners to go ahead, look at it, and relocate them in the required time frame. That's why it's better that if there are any kind of issues like that, the citizens are encouraged to remove and relocate right from this construction phase beginning, right from this summer 2022.
Perfect. Thank you so much, PK. The next question we received is, do you anticipate impacts to the businesses during the project duration?
We don't anticipate any kind of impacts to the businesses or property owners because there is a traffic control plan, even though there is a construction going on in one of the lanes in fronting your businesses. There's a traffic control plan, and also any kind of disturbance to your driveway will be restored with a temporary driveway for access to your properties. So the contractor is required to provide 24/7 access to your properties along the construction area, and we don't anticipate any kind of disruptions to your business and property areas. And also, this construction is happening phase by phase. So as if you're looking at the presentation, Ms. Kenya Williams easily gave the phasings when the construction would happen on Tuam and Fannin, when the construction would happen on Holman and Emerson. So if there is a construction going on in Tuam and Fannin, none of the businesses along Holman, Emerson, Kipling would have been impacted. Okay, so the construction is going by phase, and also there is traffic control in the construction area where it is going on, and 24/7 access to your business or property should be given by the contractor.
Okay, thank you, PK. So the next question I have for the project team is, could you please address what is meant by clearance pruning of the trees?
So yeah, there will be areas along the alignment where we basically, while we're constructing the 72-inch water line or any other facilities included on this project, where clearing or trimming of the branches of the trees will be required in order for us or the contractor to basically be able to get their equipment through it and perform the construction activities required for this project.
Okay, thank you, Efren. Next question is from Jeff. You said the construction area will be 2 feet back from curb. Will sidewalks be replaced?
Sidewalks will be replaced in kind for this project, because this project involves replacement of the existing pavement, sidewalks, wheelchair ramps, driveways to the right-of-way line. So it includes replacement of sidewalks as well.
Yes, I just want to add that the sidewalks width, the standard City Houston sidewalk width minimum is 5 foot. However, in certain areas, especially the neighborhood areas where we have heavy mature trees and so forth, in order to protect those trees, some of those sidewalks have been reduced to a 4 foot wide or width. In other words, it's going to be very similar to what you have right now in order to protect those mature trees and other features within the area.
Thank you, Efren. The next question we have is, how will street and driveway parking work for residents during construction? How long would street parking and driveway parking be impacted?
It will be impacted based upon the contractor's timeline to restore the driveway, but however, contractor is required to provide access, driveway access to their properties 24/7, in addition to giving some notices to their to the residents on where to park, so that that parking would not disturb the construction operations of the contractor.
Okay. The next question is, can you please address storm sewer construction on Emerson between Flora and Burlington Street? I'm sorry, on Emerson between Flora and Burlington Street, yes.
This is Ephraim again. I guess I'm not quite sure about the question, what exactly the question is asking, because the proposed improvements that we have in here, since we're doing complete reconstruction of the roads, we basically including also improvements to the drainage within the street area as well. So those improvements have been incorporated into the design of this project to basically provide better drainage within the project area.
So, Ephraim, one follow-up question. Does it include any upsizing of the existing storm sewers?
Yes, yes, Pandu, thank you. In some areas, based on the drainage impact study analysis that was conducted in the design, the city of Houston has basically included the upsize in some areas to increase capacity, drainage capacity in some areas. It's not all the way throughout the project, but in some special segments, basically, as identified by the drainage impact study.
Okay, thank you, Efren. Next question is, I'm in phase 1 area on Kipling. Is there a more specific time for when the project will start?
Miss Kenya Williams' slide, if you go to that slide where it shows the phasing for Kipling Street, I believe it's summer 2023. Kenya, can you go to that slide, please?
That is correct.
Okay, it's yeah, you can see that green and yellow thing. Yellow spring 2023 is when that Kipling area would go for construction.
Right, and I can elaborate a little bit more about that, Pandu. So the reason you see those two areas, basically the one on Kipling and the one on Fannin. The section on Kipling is basically where the Greek Orthodox Church is and school. So the intent is for the contractor to do the work during the summertime when the school is actually out of session. And in a similar fashion on Fannin, obviously we have the COVID pandemic for the last couple of years. But typically on Fannin, there's usually parades or festivals that take place in that area during the summertime. So we have basically required the contractor to do that work during the summertime in order to avoid those impacting those activities during the spring and winter and fall.
Awesome. Thank you. Next question. The limits of the project are stated as Crawford to Mount Vernon. However, the map shows the eastern end of the project at Hamilton and Tuam. Is this the actual end of the project?
Yes. So what happened initially, the project was going from Mount Vernon to Crawford. That is basically for the construction of the proposed 72-inch water line. However, the Midtown Redevelopment Authority is doing some improvements along Tuam Street because that's going to be the main gateway to their new development in the downtown area. So they have requested the city of Houston to do some additional improvements along Tuam Street between Crawford and Hamilton. Those are basically just mainly paving and drainage improvements for the most part. There's no 72-inch sidewalks, I'm sorry. There's no 72-inch water line along that segment. That is the reason why it's described like that.
Okay, thank you. Next question is the construction phase for my property is fall 2023 to spring 2024, which is in the purple. Does this mean that there will be disruption for the whole time period around my house, or will there be a sub-phase plan posted for a better idea of a more accurate timing?
So yeah, that particular segment basically includes Garrott, Hawthorne, and Emerson. So we don't anticipate the contractor to be working on all streets at the same time. So we will be most likely one street at any given time. So you will not be impacted during the entire duration of that period that is listed in there. And the contractor can probably elaborate a little more about that. And we'll be coordinating with all the affected residents accordingly during the construction time. As Pandu indicated, they will try to give ample notice to the property owners at least 72 hours in advance so they can coordinate accordingly.
Could you clarify the notification? Each segment has a certain period. So does that indicate that once you're getting ready to start that phase, that area impacted will receive door notices during that time, correct? Or at the very beginning of the project?
Typically, they would not receive it as 72 hours in advance before that area gets impacted.
Thank you.
The specific phase is impacted. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And I want to also please, it's important that you register on Engage Houston. Once the project starts, and if there's any sub-phasing or different phasing, or when we have major traffic changes in the area of the phase that is under construction, we will coordinate with the project team to get that posted on Engage Houston, so that way you will always be informed. So please register for this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. The next question for the project team is Annunciation Orthodox School currently runs carpool along Kipling between Mount Vernon and Yoakum in the morning and afternoons. Will we need to reroute our carpool line during the construction?
As I indicated earlier in one of the questions that was asked before, the reason why we have scheduled the construction activities right across the Greek Orthodox school is during the summer is because we would like to minimize that. During this summer, the school is out of session, so there should not be any impacts to the carpooling system.
Perfect. Next question is, how long will water and sewer services be impacted or unavailable during the cutover?
Okay, it should not take more than 3 to 4 hours because it is just transfer of services to the new lines or rehabilitated lines underground. So all the contractor will do is provide 72-hour notification before the shutdown starts, and that should be for a period of 3 to 4 hours. It's just a tie-in for the lead that comes from a particular property to the newly established water line or a sewer line underneath the pavement.
Okay.
Till the time of service when the contractor completes the tie-in to the newly installed water lines or sewer lines.
Okay.
Transfer of services.
Thank you. And let's see, I have another question here. Looks like a familiar question. Can you give me a better idea of when construction will start on Kipling? I believe we went through that, between Mount Vernon and Yoakum.
Yes, per the slide that you are actually presenting right now is basically going to be during the summer 2022 through the spring of 2023.
Thank you. And like Cheryl mentioned, if there's going to be any sub-phasing, if we're going to break down each phase, we will provide that on Engage Houston. So please subscribe to the project page for updates and information. The next question I have is, will the project be getting permit variances for noise? How loud should we be expecting the project to be? Good question.
We don't anticipate the noise levels to go beyond certain decibels, because majority of the construction is open cut, where you dig it and install the pipeline underneath the pavement. So the noise levels would not be exceeding than the regulatory standards in the City of Houston Code of Ordinances. In addition to that, there might be some tunneling locations across some major intersections, like across Spur 527 and so on and so forth. So I don't anticipate there are residential neighborhoods in those areas to have the noise levels exceeding certain regulatory standards. I would like the EOR to give certain information on this, Efrain, if you have.
Yes, Pandu. The general conditions, the standard general conditions of the City of Houston establishes basically the maximum levels on decibels. I don't have the number right here in front of me.
I think it's 85 decibels.
Right.
85.
So the contractor will be required to abide by those requirements, which are basically established by city ordinance and are incorporated into the contract as part of the general conditions.
And the majority of the construction is open cut, so we don't anticipate those noise levels exceeding 85 decibels, correct, Mr. EOR? Efrain?
That's what we anticipate. Yeah, that's correct. And then
Okay.
within the residential areas, I will tell you that there's actually two tunneling sections along Kipling. One is on Yoakum and the other one is on Montrose. The other tunneling sections are going to be basically on Tuam Street and along Holman. But they're not going to be basically the residential area west of the Spur 527 is just going to be just two tunneling sections.
Okay, thank you.
Efrain, Spur 527 is going to be tunneled.
Yes, it's going to be tunneled. I'm sorry. Yeah, 527. That's correct. That's the kind of the midpoint. But it should not be in the middle of the neighborhood. Let me put it that way. That's what I was trying to infer.
Okay, thank you. And so the next question I have is, there is decorative lighting, the Centerpoint Street lamps along Emerson Street and Garrett. Will these lamps be affected or replaced in kind during construction? And also on Hawthorne Street.
Yes, those ornamental lights are going to be replaced in kind under this project. The only difference is that I believe right now they are basically halogen lights. They're going to be replaced with LED lights, but it's going to have the same. It's just going to be the light fixture itself. The actual light poles is going to be exactly the same, but they're just going to be brand new.
Thank you, Efrain. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Kenya, to go ahead and close out the meeting. Oh, I'm sorry.
One more question.
Yes. For the sake of time, we'll read one more question. So 527, where is that located? So Spur 527, where is that located? When you say tunneling, are you referring to horizontal directional drilling?
So between that Emerson and Holman, purple and red color, you see that little piece?
Yeah, between right, it's the purple and orange between Emerson and Holman. Right, it's that spur 527 bridge.
Okay, and the HDD means horizontal directional drilling?
No, it will not be horizontal drilling. It will be basically a bore and jack operation, tunneling operation. Yes, tunneling operations.
Okay. Okay, thank you guys. And if you have any additional questions, please feel free to email us at buildforward@houstontx.gov. I will publish that email address right now. So again, feel free to email us. Remember, this does not end the questions during the project, at the end, the beginning. Always, if you have any questions, email us. We love to answer questions.
Thank you, Afalaki.
No problem.
So as Afalaki said, this is only the beginning. This is not the end of the Q&A session. It is only the beginning. So if you still have those burning questions, please email us at buildforward@houstontx.org, and we will get those questions to the project team and get those answers to you. So again, thank you everyone for your time and attention today, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kenya, for this having